What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rawlins, and today we're reviewing another episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. We're starting off with episode 1, though. We're going a little backwards. We're going back and forth with it, but this should have been our episode for the first impressions. Season 1, episode 1, A Night at the Katz Motel. But before we get into it, we're going to have Mr. Alex Payne give us the breakdown. So what happens in this episode?
Well, first of all, this is kind of like a mini first impressions, but weirdly enough, this the very first episode, and it doesn't start at the farm. It doesn't actually. The farm's not in it at all.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny.
right. Yeah, it felt kind of weird, but like they're coming back from a vacation, right? It's like, yeah, old dude's like, yeah, this is a crummy end to a crummy vacation. It's like, man, listen, can you ever enjoy any damn thing for real? Everything's bad to this dude. Like, and I will say one thing too. My
Well,
number one
that's
thing.
his character, grumpy old man.
Right. But man, be happy about something. And you know what? Actually, I take that back. Cause it's like the only joy he gets out of life is scaring everybody's favorite pink doggy, Courage. Like, come on, man. What's up with that? Why you gotta do that to the pink homie like that,
But see,
man?
that's the thing, and I feel like we're kind of getting off the rails here. But that's what makes his character good. Is because like the mistake a lot of people make in cartoons and kind of in story writing in general is having the most abused one be the nicest one or a nice one. Like when, because let's be real, in any episode, friggin' Eustace is the most abused out of anyone.
He is, but
And his bad
he deserves
personality
it.
makes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he actually deserves it. But like in certain episodes, like Squidward, for example, some episodes he's mean and deserves some of the stuff he get. Other episodes he ain't did shit and he gets beaten to the ground.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyway, so this episode, as you mentioned, starts off. They're coming back from a vacation and they stop at a motel, and it's called the Katz Motel. So they go to sign in, and Katz has a rule of no dogs being allowed. So they get their room, and it turns out that Katz wants to feed all of his, I guess, clients to his group of pet spiders, and he sends his spiders after the family, and it's up to Courage to save them. So yeah, that's the episode.
Man, it really disappoints me that Courage, though, especially in this episode, yeah, he's supposed to be the cowardly dog, but in all the other episodes, he has more balls than he does in this one. That's crazy.
Well, it comes and goes.
No, I feel like he was more. I guess squeamish would be the word in this episode, though. Like, it was turned up to 100.
I don't know. I don't know. But my first impression is though, this this is the first episode and this is the first time, and if I remember correctly, the only time we see Muriel naked. She just full on gets naked and hops in the tub. Like, come on, man! It's the first episode, and you showed us the granny naked. Like, come on, what you
Listen,
trying to do?
it's funny because that never came to my mind like that. Obviously, like I said, my first impression is to seeing Courage being all cowardly when in all the other episodes he freaking mans up and gets the job done. But the main thing that really took the cake for me is to see Muriel's basically begging Courage for help after the spiders were coming after her and whatnot. And then once they finally go away, she just freaking walks out of the tub like ain't nothing happened. Just, oh, gets dressed. Yeah, it's a wonderful vacation or whatever. So it's just like, man, okay.
Well, to be
Somebody's
fair, I think she
blissfully
was being
stupid.
sarcastic.
She didn't sound sarcastic to me.
Yeah, she sounded sarcastic. It's like, what a wonderful vacation, or some shit like that.
I don't know, with that old lady voice, nothing. She sounds like the sweetest thing in the world. Nothing ever sarcastic with her. So, but I guess we can go into moments now. I gotta say, even though Courage was pretty much a coward this whole episode, I love how he's able to shape ship and pull anything out of anywhere. Like when them spiders were coming towards him when he's all tied up and held back and whatnot, he straight up pulls out a freaking flamethrower gun. I think that's what you want to call it, right? Flamethrower.
Yeah, he pulled out
And
he got
immediately
them.
thought,
He
like,
got them
where the hell
doggy
did he?
pockets, man. He got them doggy pockets. He could just reach in there and pull anything out. This nigga pulled out a science kit.
He had it stored in his furage.
That part is kind of funny though, because like he does all that shit and then all he does is gives it a little pull and it snaps.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
You know what else
But
is really funny about that though? It's
huh?
like the spider. First of all, how big is this lot? Because that spider was moving. That spider was friggin' speeding, and it took him forever to get there. But it was so funny because the spider running, Courage freaking out, and then after he pop it, he leaves. The spider runs to the spot and just stops. It's like, oh well, he's gone. Fuck it.
Right.
It's like he just gave up. That was funny to me. I don't know why. It just was so weird. Like he gone speeding out there, and then he get there and he just stops. It's like, oh well. He's
And
not here
obviously, I
anymore.
mentioned my Muriel moment, and we gotta mention this too. Talking about Eustace earlier, man, this dude can freaking sleep through World War fucking 95. Okay, this man is just, Muriel's like, courage, go get help, and so he runs in a room trying to get Eustace out of bed. He's freaking making all types of noise, blowing instruments in his face. Where I don't know where he gets them bitches from, but
He got the infinite pockets, man.
he got that extra deep furage,
You know,
boy.
it's funny you mention that because I want to slip this in real quick. It's funny when Eustace was going to sleep, right? He was just like, oh, I can't wait to get to my own bed. And he's just like,
Yo,
Muriel, you hear me? Oh, what do
yo,
you know? And then all,
it's
it's just
crazy.
so funny to
At
see
that
him show his
moment,
little tantrum.
it just made me wonder, like, man, I wonder if you Eustace and Miro be smashing a lot. I don't know why that just popped in my head right there.
I don't know, man. And I kind of wouldn't want to see it, but now I'm kind of
Well,
curious.
nobody would, but come on, that just popped in my head right there. I was like, is Eustace beating that cartoon kitty cat up or what? But what other favorite moments you got?
Oh, I have a It's I listen. The moment when after the bed turned around and they took Eustace or whatever, and Courage went in there. Well, first of all, to mention with the shape shifting real quick, I love how he went in the office and he shape shifts into everything but a spider.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like it's not like he's seeing some vague monster. It's like he knows what it is. It's a spider, and he shifts into a snake and into like this weird bird thing and all this other shit. It's like you shape shift into everything but a spider. But no, but when they had Eustace in the web and the spider was crawling down the web or whatever, they did this nice intense close up of the spider's face and everything, and all you see is Courage just bring the stick down, the board down, and just crush the shit out of that. Like, listen, that was one of them bitch moments. Like when you see someone just get knocked the fuck so fucking out, like that was funny to me. Um, him throwing Eustace at Katz was funny.
Oh yeah, man, Katz, that motherfucker looks weird as shit. That should have been my first thought right there. That motherfucker looks weird as shit. I can't fuck with him, boy. He look creepy. Fucking red ass. Oh man.
I like the fact that he wants to friggin' and this because Katz is a recurring character. I would say he probably recurs more than anyone else ever does. I think he's in like 7 episodes or something like that. But anyway, I just love like because his thing, because you can see it in this episode. His thing is pretty much like we're gonna play sports before you die.
Right.
So that was I feel like there's something else I want to mention, but I can't think of what it is.
I know there's something with the tennis game I want to mention that they were playing. I know Courage gets hit one good ass time during that game though. He gets freaking straight up mollywopped in that bitch. Oh yeah, with the tennis ball. I think
Yeah.
Katz smacked the shit out of the tennis ball and ended up hitting him in the head or something. I can't remember exactly, but I know that was probably one of the moments in that I wanted to talk about because Courage was straight up down after that. Oh man, how you gonna do that to my pink homie, man? Damn.
And it was funny when Muriel broke the racket over his head, and then friggin' he drops the spider, and the spider just like
Yeah.
calmly and cozily just walks away like ain't nothing, like just so cold. Like he just drops it like, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
There was a moment right at the beginning. I forgot what Eustace does. And Muriel just came by and I'm like, oh, I know what's coming. Book up, she popped his ass.
No, he scared Courage.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what did I do? Smack the shit out of him. Boy. I fuck with Muriel, boy. Muriel dope as hell. But I guess now is a good time to get into the final reviews. What is your final review, Mr. Alex Payne?
Well, it's funny because I usually had an interesting. Because honestly, when I used to watch it before, because I've seen this episode quite a few times, I honestly wasn't that big of a fan of it. But
Oh,
for some reason, the last two times I watched it, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I did before. So like
do you
my
know why?
perception, I don't know. I really don't. Maybe it's a better appreciation of everything or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
um, like it goes without saying, the music is great, and the Cats music. I love the Cats music because that same music follows him for the series, as I mentioned. Like you probably know what I mean because there was a few music in this episode, but I think you know what the Cats music is. That like I wouldn't say hip hop ish, but like yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, the music always great, yeah. But I like the pacing and the intensity and all that other shit of it. Like it felt very horror movie ish. And listen, it always blows my mind how much courage seems to get into an 11-minute episode.
Yeah, because it was a lot, right?
Yeah, like, but it's not even just this one. Like, think about it. Every episode except for the Mask we watched was like 11 minutes, and
The
none of
mass to me
them.
felt like an hour, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Which
but
we done a review of that. That is up on the channel. Card should be up on top of the page, baby.
yeah,
Or check out the end screen at the end.
yeah. But like what I'm saying is just like it seems like they like none of those episodes felt like rushed, empty, or like short. Like it
No,
seems
yeah,
like
you're right. It
it's so
feels complete
baffling.
and full.
It's so baffling like how they seem to get so much in there. But
Yeah.
but overall, like a lot of really enjoyable things. I love the running gag of Eustace just being asleep. Oh, I got a moment to mention the end when friggin' when Muriel's driving them home, and friggin' she's like, "That's a nice blanket Grandpa has. Maybe we could get you one."
Oh
And
yeah, and
like,
he just straight up hollers.
I don't know why that was just hilarious to me. But so yeah, I think I'm like if this was like a month ago, I probably would have given this episode like a 6. But
Okay.
now I think I'm gonna have to give it a nice solid. I think I'm gonna have to give it a nice solid 7.5. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, you dip it into the Ray Rawlins classic, but you know what? It's funny because maybe if I watch it a few more times, I feel the same way as you. But this episode, I mean, and maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. I should be looking at it as me viewing this episode like for the first time. I mean, granted, it's not a first impressions, obviously, but I feel the same way as you do, as well as you did. The episode, it doesn't compare to all the other ones I watched. The main thing that stuck out to me is, yeah, I know Courage is supposed to be the cowardly dog, but he just seemed way more pussy in this episode than he did in the any other episode. So, I mean, maybe you could say he has arachnophobia or whatnot. Who knows? Maybe that's the point they're trying to make with that. But he just seemed way too cowardly in this episode to me. Like Courage, he had some balls, man. And when it comes to Muriel, he got to save his Muriel. So
I know.
that's the
Listen,
thing
you're
that really stuck
definitely
out.
right. This episode still doesn't compare to most of the other ones for me. That's why I'm giving it a 7.5. Because because I would want to give it a no, I wouldn't say I want to give it an 8. So yeah, I think a 7.5 is fair in
Oh yeah,
comparison to
definitely.
this and to other episodes.
But even then though, with all that being said, it wasn't terrible by any means. And like you mentioned, despite the music's always good and Courage. That's a given, as you said. But it's the thing that like they fit a whole entire story into 11-minute timeline, which is honestly not much. I mean, it's not something you see many cartoons of today doing. Like they have a whole reason for
Correctly.
being there, and exactly correctly, they have a whole reason for being there. They have a whole beginning, middle, end to the story, and they imagine to throw nice, good, funny, comical moments in there. It's just little things like Courage being too much of a pussy, and it just doesn't have that feel of a normal Courage episode. Maybe it's because they're not at the farm. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure everybody who watched cartoons for a long time, and maybe a good example, comparing old SpongeBob to new SpongeBob, it just has that certain feel, and this episode just did not have that certain Courage the Cowardly Dog feel to me. I can't explain it, but it just didn't feel like it
I
was a
will say this
Courage.
though, for a first episode to a series, it's really, really good.
No, of course, yeah, I will give it that. It was pretty darn good, but it just didn't have the feel that the regular episodes have throughout the series. But besides that, it wasn't a bad episode. Honestly, it was pretty darn good. So I'm gonna have to smack it in the head with a nice 6.5. Could do better though, but for what it was, I'll give it a good 6.5. Got anything else to add?
No, I think we covered everything.
All right. Well, there y'all have it. My name's Ray Rawlins. I hit this nice Courage the Cowardly Dog Season 1 episode, What a Night in the Katz Motel, with a nice 6.5, and Alex hits it with a 7.5. We did more Courage the Cowardly Dog videos and reviews on this channel. They will be popping up in the end screen. Of course, you guys can click on the button to see how the channel is and everything like that. Tell us what you think of this episode too, of course, man. Leave a comment in the comment box below. Hit that like, hit that sub, all that good shit, and come back, because we talk cartoons, and we do it daily on the Cartoon Kid channel. So we will see ya when we see ya. Peace.